6 years ago, I was sleeping on the floor in public housing, and now I run a major nonprofit in DC. So my name is Carlos Mark Vera. I am the founder of Pay Our Interns. I am originally from Colombia. I moved to California when I was 6 years old. My family ended up having our house foreclosed and living in public housing and on food stamps. I was the first one to graduate from high school for my family. I decided to come to DC, to American University. My freshman year, I ended up also interning in Congress, and that was exciting, right? But that was not paid. And I was on scholarship, but I was, pretty much depending on myself. So what I did is I worked 25 hours a week, I entered 30 hours a week, and I was taking 16 credits. So it was really tough. Then I joined the Army Reserves and did a couple more internships, and now I'm here, so yeah. So I decided to found Pay Our Interns late last year, so October of 2016, so it's very recent, and it's for two reasons. First, this is an issue that everyone knows it's a problem, right? Unpaid work, but it's also, like I said, something I experienced. I worked for free in Congress, at the White House, and at the European Parliament in Brussels, so I know firsthand how tough it is. And fundamentally, it's the fact that nowadays, what do you need to be successful? You need, in terms of like the job market, you need a degree and you need work experience. And how do you get work experience in college? You have to intern. But what if you can't afford to intern? And that's what's happening for a lot of Latinos. We know that Latinos that end up in college, in many ways, are sometimes not traditional students because they are going to classes, but they're also working to be able to pay for living expenses or sending money back home. I think the best example of the ramifications of unpaid internships can be broken down to a story. So let's say you have a kid named Jose, and he's from Texas, and he's going to Texas State University, and his passion is public service. He wants to come to DC for summer, but can't afford it. So, interns for the mayor's office and then graduates and says, you know what, I'm ready to work in Congress, and applies for a position here. A lot of people know is the first requirement you need for a position in Congress is Hill experience, meaning AKA interning for free. So it's a catch-22. You need the experience to be able to work there, but you also need funds to be able to intern. So what's ending up happening is we have this glass ceiling, and it's keeping thousands of talented Latino youth from being able to come here, which then has implications in terms of policy and laws. So I was meeting with a friend back when I was in college, and they said, why do you do what you do, right? And I said, well, I want to make my parents proud. And I think she responded by saying, that's great and it sounds nice, but it's the wrong answer. Ultimately, you should do things that make yourself happy. If your parents are happy, that's great, but you have to be first. Because sometimes trying to make other people happy, you're not going to be happy. So that's really something that I kind of follow through with. So. Right. And that's also, and it's, a lot of institutions here are so hierarchical, right? Like, your position is not high enough to even send me an email. That's also one thing I learned is, whether I like it or not, I am an ambassador. You guys are all ambassadors for your community. And that's just the way it is, especially in institutions like Congress, where there's not that many Latinos. We're the only people that look like you are the janitors, unfortunately. And that's kind of what drives me is, I know what it feels like to work for free, to struggle paying bills, to not eat, skip meals. And I'm gonna try my damn best so that people behind me don't have to go through the same experience.